First contestant is Rabbi Jonathan Turret's syndrome, whose chosen subject is conjuring in the 20th century. You have 2 minutes. Start now. In card magic, what is the KO move?
Piss off, sorry.
No, it's the control of the card. Who edited the new Jinx?
Shitey wee bastard, sorry.
No, Bill Madsen. Who invented the pom-pom prayer stick?
Go for a bitch.
No, Louis History. In what year was the Zarrow full shuffle introduced?
Bollocks, you sorry.
No, 1968. Wayne Dobson is a what?
Popular magical entertainer?
No, twat.
Sorry.
The name listed in the ordinary is a pseudonym for who?
Shitey, horrible, wee, smelly sorry.
No, Milton Franklin Andrews. The floating ball is known by what other name? No, the zombie. And at the end of that round, Rabbi Syndrome, you have scored 12 points and no passes.
Right, what's this? You been unfaithful at me?
What do you think? Well, ladies and gentlemen, have we got a show for you tonight? We'd like to start off with our classic impression of the Hitman and Her.
The Hitman and Her. Right, quite enough of that crap, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get on with the show. Pallbearer's Revue, some props, please. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the first trick of the evening, the classic appearing audience. Thank you very much. Second trick of the evening, the classic vanishing props. And by the way, no heckling, otherwise it'll make you completely vanish all over again, all right? I actually find this by telling jokes I can make entire audiences vanish. For example, what's the definition of disgusting? Shagging your grandmother, licking the sweat off her back. Oh, come on, if you live in Birmingham, you can put up with sick jokes, surely.
Wait, pal! It's not the joke we mean, it's the generalising. My granny doesn't sweat when we shag.
Ah, shut up, mate. People like that make you want to bring back the poll tax, you know what I mean? Imagine heckling me, a comic genius. Comic genius, by the way, that's somebody who's been living in London for 2 years and still has a sense of humour, you know what I mean? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the incredible bag of Balthazar trick. You might think I'm a lunatic, right? But it guarantees me a seat in a cinema any day of the week, you know what I mean? This is actually misdirection, because while looking at the bag, I'm secretly manipulating my bollocks. Talking of bollocks, a quick joke. Two lesbian pit bull terriers walking down the street, right, being attacked by a black South African juggler. When suddenly this... sorry, that's not a joke, that was a Benetton poster I saw earlier in the week, sorry. I actually love Benetton posters. I think they're brilliant. They're so crap, you know, the posters, you know. Much better than these charity posters you see all the time, you know, like the The ones that are always begging for your money and blaming you for all the faults in the world, for example. Schizophrenia, it's your fault too. No, it isn't! Another one with a wee boy, posting of a wee boy with 2 cotton wool pads on his eyes, right? And he's blind, right? And it says, look this boy in the eye and say you can't afford a £5. I can't afford a £5! And it's not my fault you're blind! Don't mind giving out money to charities, but it's not my fault! Okay. I'm actually in a very bad mood tonight. I was at the Hackney dog races last week. I lost every race. I blame that on the handlers putting me in trap 1, the bastards. The only time I've ever won in a dog race was when my dog accidentally got his knob caught in the electrified rabbit, you know. Sort of won by default. I remember once putting £5 on a horse called Dark Ivy in the Grand National. During the race, the horse keeled over and died. I remember thinking to myself at the time, well, at least I got my money's worth there, you know what I mean? If your horse isn't going to win a race, the next best thing is a hemorrhage, you know? Makes the video worth watching over and over and over again, you know what I mean? See, the worst thing about betting shops is you put on these bets, right? And the commentators always make you think you're going to win the race by the way they do the commentaries, you know? But you never do. So you say you're betting on a dog race, right? There's 6 dogs in a race, right? You put £5 in trap 2, okay? Commentator goes, and they're off Hackney in trap 2 at a blistering pace, and he's well into the lead. Up red in the first bend, and it's trap 2 at a blistering pace. 4, 3, 1, 5 and 6, the black markers. Up to the line, and it's trap 2, he's zimming home. Up to the line, trap 4, the winner. Trap 3 for a second. How does that work? Anyway, sorry about that. So a joke that's a lot better when it's told live, by the way, okay? So, joke's a lot better when it's told live, okay, by the way. A lot of joke when it's not better when it's told live. I don't know how many people here actually gamble in the audience, you know. I don't know how many of you gamble. I don't know if I should do the material or not. Do you gamble? No? No. So you've never travelled by British Rail before, ever? A friend of mine actually, I shouldn't make jokes, because a friend of mine actually died on British Rail, you know. He committed suicide. He sort of jumped off the platform in front of a train and waited to death. Which I thought was very sad, you know. Actually, I'll tell you a thing I don't understand about British Rail is why it's cheaper to buy a return ticket. That's not a joke, I'm actually asking you here, you know. Why is it cheaper to buy a return ticket? I mean, you go up to the ticket office in a train station and say, how much is a single ticket to Manchester, please? They go, oh, £37. And how much is it at return? £12.50. What's the point in making a return ticket cheaper, really, you know? You're going to come back from Birmingham, whatever the price, really. Sorry, I shouldn't have made jokes about that. I know you're from Birmingham and I shouldn't have made jokes, okay? Birmingham's a great city. So, anyway, I made a few jokes a while back about the city of Dundee and got into a lot of trouble about it, so I'm going to have to use spoonerisms tonight. This means if I want to slag off, say, John Majors, I'll have to say Mon Jagers. Or if I want to say slag off, say, Cliff Richard, I'll have to say Riff Clitchard. This is so I don't get sued by anyone, okay? But you'll understand who I'm talking about, because the name sounds familiar, okay? Is that all right? Okay, good. So, Malcolm Muggeridge, what a bastard he is, huh? Billy Butler, piss off! I made a few jokes with Dundee a while back, right? All I said was that people in Dundee are so boring. You pour boiling water over their heads, you get a new flavour of pot noodle. And the entire city was up in arms against me, right? The Lord Mayor actually said these sick comic comments could ruin the image of Dundee. I thought to myself, what image? What are you talking about? I'll give you an impression, right, of somebody in Dundee talking to a Jehovah's Witness, okay? Come in! Would you like a drink? Don't go away! Tell me more about how you witnessed Jehovah! If you ask anybody in Scotland where they come from, they'll always be happy to tell you, except Dundonians, you know, because they're embarrassed by it, you know. Ask somebody in Glasgow where they're from, they go, Glasgow. Somebody in Edinburgh, where are you from? Edinburgh. Somebody in Dundee, where are you from? East Scotland. Sort of in between London and Alaska. I must go to my teas out. Hey, come back here a minute. You're from Dundee? No, I know. Because I'm fast asleep! Sorry about that, I just get a bit angst out there, you know. Dundee, you know. Anyway, whenever I go to London, right, I always buy a copy of Time Out magazine. And I always look up the gay lesbian action page. And I've been along to about 4 of these meetings now, and I can tell you, there's no action at all, you know. All you get is a wee workshop, people going, I'm not sure whether I'm bisexual or homosexual. Sling it over that table and shag her. I paid £3.50. You advertised action, for crying out loud. Another thing about London is that the number of tramps and beggars in London that are increasing all the time. I mean, it really brings you down. Like, years ago, it was very simple, you know. tramps would follow you home and going, go on, spend me 10 pence for a cup of tea, hurry up, 10 pence for a cup of tea, 10 pence for a cup of tea. And you could drag out and get a lot of fun with it. You know, you could go, well, I'm not sure, I'll think about it. Come on, 10 pence for a cup of tea, 10 pence for a cup of tea, go on, 10 pence. And you could get a train home, right, a train home, they'd still follow you, you know. 10 pence for a cup of tea, 10 pence for a cup of tea, go on. Okay, I'll give you 10p, there you go, 10p, you can have that if you can find it. Leave me alone! But nowadays you get tramps and beggars in London, right, that don't beg properly, right? They call me old-fashioned, but I like a beggar to beg, right? Nowadays you get these beggars, right, with suits on, actual suits, right, in sleeping bags, okay? And they don't beg, they hold up bits of cardboard that says, homeless, give us all your money on it. Right, so what I do is, whenever I go out in the shop, something like that, what I do is I carry a big bit of cardboard down with me at all times, right, which just says, no on it, see? And I find that works for me, you know. And the trick is to keep walking, you know. I like a beggar to beg. I like to see a bit of, I like to see a big yellow, browny, seepy, pussy thing coming out the forehead, you know. Before I'm going to part with my pound coin, you know what I mean? I'm not looking for props here, I'm doing an impression of a Burns victim. Another thing I don't like about London is the number of mime artists that are on the increase as well, you know. Years ago, very, very simple. Mime artists, no problem. You knew where you stood. But nowadays, you go on British Rail, right? At the top of the escalator, there's a mime artist. Halfway down, there's a violinist. You get to the bottom, there's a full bloody orchestra, you know. Give us your money, please. No, you can afford a violin, you give me your money. So the way I annoy mime artists now is I watch a mime artist for about half an hour. Then a mime enjoying it, and then a mime giving them the money, you know. These are hobbies of mine, you understand, you know. One of my hobbies is sending out chain letters in the form of gas bills to old age pensioners. I like sitting on buses beside really gorgeous females and going, excuse me, have you got a tissue on you, please? Certainly, there you go, thanks a lot. Cheers. Thanks a lot. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the incredible bag of Balthazar trick. Now, as you can see, the bag itself is absolutely normal. I'm not. And in addition to the bag, we shall also be using two handkerchiefs, which is a black handkerchief and a white handkerchief, which I'm holding in one hand to show you that I'm anti-apartheid, okay? And what I'm going to do is put them in the bag, and I'm going to make the handkerchiefs change colour, okay? Now, there's two ways of doing this, right? The first method is the super glue method, which is completely self-working, in which not only the handkerchiefs change colour, but so does the entire room. Both the cruise missiles over here are changing into spaghetti hoops. Judge Dredd is sitting at the back waiting to arrest me, and inside the bag, the green handkerchief has changed to pink. The elephant has changed into a Rottweiler, and the inside of the bag has transformed itself into a little doggy. Arf, 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 arf. If you're on the same combination of drugs as I am. That's a little joke, that, by the way. I don't actually touch drugs at all, you know. I can't actually tell the difference between heroin and a joint, which is probably why I've been burning my arms for the past 3 months, you know. That can't be right. I'll try a fresh vein. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as I say, there's two methods of doing this trick. The second method is, of course, to say the magic words. And for this purpose, I have brought along a very special guest, ladies and gentlemen, to do the magic words. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you all know him, and very special guest. Here he is. It's Sooty, of course. And give it the magic word, Sooty.
Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy.
And looking into the bag, we find, unbelievably, the white handkerchief is now, or rather black handkerchief, now covered in white spots, by the way. The white handkerchief is now covered in black spots. I want to know this is purely for spite, but I went and brought the dog back and all. Tango! Okay, ladies and gentlemen, part of the famous rabbit from the hat trick, this is the first ever turd from the dog trick. Thank you very much. Okay, moving right along. Two handkerchiefs, ladies and gentlemen. Two handkerchiefs exactly the same size. I'd like somebody in the audience, anybody at all, you, would you point to one of these two handkerchiefs, please? The red one. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to cause the handkerchief of your choice to shrink to less than half its original size, okay? Half its original size. Here we go. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. The handkerchief has now shrunk to less than half of its original size, and I'm sure you'll agree if you compare that to the size of the original one. You can see quite clearly that it has indeed shrunk, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, not once, but twice, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, shrinking handkerchief. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, not only has it shrunk to less than half its size again, but it's in fact changed colour as well. And I'm sure you'll agree, if you compare that to the size and colour of the original one, it's a crap joke, that, isn't it? A crap bloody joke. £18.50, what a waste. Okay, the classic Queen of Hearts trick, ladies and gentlemen. Queen of Hearts. King of Clubs, thank you very much. Now, I agree with you, this is shite, but when you go home tonight, right, and you're sleeping with your partner, right, and you're just about to climax, one of you is going to go, how did that shitey wee bastard do that trick with a card? The one that changed. Oh, never mind, honey, let's get back to sleep. You don't want to... No, he's got no skill. How did he do it? Normally I explain how some tricks are done, but you can sweat it out as far as I'm concerned. Quick card trick, ladies and gentlemen, quick card trick. Like somebody in the audience, anybody at all. You, again. I'd like you to name any card in the pack, please. Anyone at all. 9 of hearts. Wrong. That's right, laugh, you bastards. One day I'll get that right, you'll all shit yourselves. It's a case of logistics, I can wait, you know. I do a show 3 times a night, one of these days someone's going to name it. 4 of hearts. Okay, the 9 of hearts was the card you named, is that correct? And yet, incredibly, for your entertainment pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, inside my fly, we have in fact got the 9 of hearts. And madam, is that my actual sperm stain? Okay. Actually, it didn't really matter what card you named because you got a choice of about 150 in here, you know. Hope you noticed, by the way, that during this set I have not resorted to like cheap tricks and gimmicks of any kind. No, ladies and gentlemen, I am far more sophisticated than that. As a matter of fact, I was dialing 071 for London back in 1972. What are you staring at? Where are we?
How can I help you, please?
Well, we're a couple of healthy, happy Yankee bastards from California. And we'd like to take home some of your Scottish phlegm.
Well, you've come to the right place. Clem's my name, phlegm production is my game. Now, the cheapest thing I can offer you in green is your bonus bile. Or, for an extra £5, I can supply you one with a permanent steamer. Reminds me of a little joke. Went to bed last night dreaming of boats, woke up with a steamer. However, if you prefer to pay even more money, I can give you this very lovely Winston Churchill commemorative one. That is pure lung, that is.
Do you have anything of Princess Margaret's?
Not in this price range.
Excuse me. Sorry for that, please.
Right, you are. Excuse me for just one moment. Hey, what is this, by the way? I asked you for a Sellafield special. What you giving me here? Bloody night nurse and custard. Look at that. Look what they're giving me. You take that back to Mr. McCracken and tell him I want a good dose of sun.
Dear Anne Robinson, why oh why must the BBC screen this filthy and immature material on TV at peak viewing time? I don't get home from work until midnight and invariably miss it. Also, the idea that working class people could be enjoying the same show as me is particularly abhorrent. Come on, BBC, bring back hanging for any poor person or student who might be watching.
Couldn't agree with you more, Miss Bates, but Mrs. L. Frankham of Dorset has this to say.
Dear Anne, why oh why oh why oh why must the BBC read out my letters in a deep masculine voice? I've been a woman for many years now and object to this kind of almost working class treatment.
And now a letter from Mr. Barnett of Hastings.
Dear Anne, why is the hitman and her not shown on the BBC earlier in the evening?
It's a super program, and I often masturbate when I see those close-up shots of those super girls writhing in their own sweat.
And he adds.
It saves a bundle on dirty magazines.
And you'll be saving even more on dirty magazines, Mr. B. The BBC are planning to bring back Janet Street Porter later in the year, so plenty to look forward to there. Now, another request.
Dear Anne, my wife and I love Norman Tebbit with his cheeky grin and romantic look at life. Please, 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 could you show us a bit more of the fabulous Falling Over brothers when they used to be Jerry Sadowitz?
Always happy to oblige, Mr. T. For one more letter from 7-year-old Emma Twitch.
Dear Anne, my planet's population and I think that Jerry Sadowitz is the best thing on British television. Why he's not featured 24 hours a day is beyond us.
There he is.
We sleek it, Turin, brand new 5-pence piece. Now, what's the f***ing point of that?
Well, tonight on the Roy Walton Moment, we're very honoured to have the one and only Mr. Uri Geller.
Yuri Geller! Oh, Yuri, I'm a big fan of yours, by the way. Got all your spoons and everything. Oh, my neck's bending, and you did it, Yuri. Fantastic. What talent.
Jerry, we're doing the interview. Remember, you're being Uri Geller. I'm interviewing you.
Forgot. Okay. Yes, it's very nice to be asked here on the Roy Walton Moment, and I've actually brought along the spoons, you see, and see, I don't do anything, and they look, they just bend, you see, and look, you see, this spoon is here, it's becoming like plastic, you see, it's like that. I don't do anything, and look, with a key here, I don't know where it came from, but look, I don't even touch it, and there's a knot, and you know, this is
fantastic. You bent them just with the power of your mind.
This is strictly the power of my mind, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I don't do anything except use my mind. You see, and it bends, you see. Of course, it has very bad side effects on my sex life. You know, I can't do very much, but I try not to think about it. Yes?
Could you just get on with the trick, because the impression was shit.
Thank you, Trina. Right, okay. Steve, isn't it?
No. Amanda.
Okay, Steve, I don't know if you know this, but shut up. What we're going to do is we're going to take about half of the pack and turn it face up and shuffle it into the other half, which remains face down, okay? Now, this is an incredibly silly thing to do, actually, when you think about it, but that's what we're doing. Shuffling the cards face up and face down, okay? So the pack of cards is now an incredible mess, and there is only one way of sorting that pack out, and that is to use the ace of diamonds, okay? Now, what happens here is take the ace of diamonds, drop the pack on top of it, like so. And what happens is the ace of diamonds slowly travels up through the pack to the top, okay? And on its way up, it gets very tired because it has actually got to sort out the rest of the pack so they all face the same way around again, like so.
Amanda, let me show you. Jerry taught me how to do this flourish. Look, I know how to do it. Make them all go up there. Wait, no, sorry.
Yes, there are a number of flourishes that one can do if you're at home, or if you haven't got home, come to the studio and do. This is a flourish, which is like very therapeutic. Right, one more trick here, okay? Ready for this one? Okay, Steve!
Amanda.
So what? Just take a card out, please. Bring your hand over the pack. Take one out. Right, remember that card? Have a look at it, remember it? And show it to that camera there, camera 5. Okay? Right, cut the card from me, put it back. Now this is in fact an incredibly difficult trick, and therefore I want 3 chances of finding your card, okay? It could be one of these 3 cards, all right? Now it could be the bottom card, which is the Jack of Diamonds, or it could be the top card, which is the Jack of Diamonds, or it could be the middle card, which is the Jack of Diamonds. Now, I know it isn't this card here, because that has got, in fact, a back on both sides, okay? And this Jack has got no face on it. In fact, each one of these Jacks is totally under suspicion. So instead, I'll do an entirely different trick with the ace, 2, and 3 of clubs. Thanks. What we'll do is we'll put them to a little test here, okay? What we'll do is we'll deal them out in a line like so, and drop the pack on top of the ace, whereupon it mysteriously jumps to the top of the pack. Take the 2, put it on top, give the pack a slap, and the 2 mysteriously jumps to the bottom. The 3 goes in the middle, does a back flip somersault, and jumps up to the top of the deck. And stop. It may be that this is too fast, so what I'll do is I'll do it again in slow motion, okay? There's the 2 in the middle of the pack, the ace in the middle of the pack. Hope you're paying attention here, Steve.
Oh, Amanda.
Shut up, okay? 3 in the centre of the pack, okay? And yet, inexplicably, I simply snap the deck, and what happens is the ace jumps up to the top, and the 2 jumps to the bottom. And Amanda, can you guess where the 3 is? Take a guess. There's a clue.
On the top, on the bottom.
On the bottom?
Yeah.
Absolutely correct. It is, in fact, on the top. Now, after all this, I've got to still find your card, right? So what we'll do is we'll wind the pack up here a bit and spread it out, and we find, incredibly, that your card, the Jack of Diamonds, actually turns over in the pack. Now, if I take the Jack of Diamonds and just snap the ace, 2, and 3 of clubs with it, something incredible actually happens, because the ace becomes the Jack of clubs, the 2 becomes the Jack of spades, and the 3 becomes the Jack of hearts, giving us 4 jacks. Thank you. So, what do you think of that?
Oh, no,
Steve? Gina?
Oh, Jerry, go and get me the hobnobs with the chocolate on them, the chocolate hobnobs.
Right.
Plain chocolate? You like plain? Plain. Plain chocolate and...
Right. So, I'll be right back then. I have another poem. This one dedicated to the local corner shop. Wee sleekit brand new £20 note. Looks like it's only a fiver I've got. You bastard! You do it deliberately. You buy 40 silk cut. Your change is 3p. Thank you.